and we've had a lot go on in our family in the last couple weeks, and so God has made a way for us to be here. So I just asked and just said thank you for giving me the privilege of introducing my daughter to you all. So Auldon's class topic is selling with confidence. She started her Mary Kay business at 19 years old, going into her sophomore year at Western Michigan University. That's probably more popular in Ohio than the University of Michigan is, I have learned. She earned her first career card 5 months after starting her Mary Kay business and promoted herself to the sales director position. She's been a star consultant each quarter since she started her Mary Kay business. She has been in the company's quarter sales 6 times, sharing 6 times. She's completed triple star for 4 years. Her and her unit have achieved unit circles 6 times, highest to date in the Circle of Excellence, 650,000 retail. Auldon and her husband have traveled to the Bahamas on a cruise with Mary Kay and a 5-star trip to Edinburgh, Scotland, and a top director's trip. Her and her unit have earned 8 cars, 4 of them being the prestigious pink Cadillac. At 21, she was the youngest pink Cadillac director in Michigan. Alden's highest monthly earning has exceeded $25,000. She lives in Detroit, Michigan with her husband, Cody, son, still Zurich, and 2 French bulldogs, Mr. and Cash. And so please get on your feet for Auldon Sweeney-Wydo.
Hey everyone. Are you guys excited to be in person at a career conference? Yes. I am so excited as well. I was just telling Natalie over here, I think during COVID before COVID, we kind of took for granted how great our Mary Kay culture is getting to gather together. So thank you guys for being here. I would love to see from you guys, who is their first career conference ever? A lot. Welcome. This is going to be so exciting. And I would love to know, who here is a brand new red jacket? Congratulations, you guys. And do we have any DIQs in the house? Congratulations. Oh, yay, this is so exciting. So, like Dawn said, I am going to be teaching you guys on selling with confidence. When I got asked to teach this class, I was so excited because that's something that I feel very skilled in. So I hope that when you guys leave career conference, you feel empowered enough to go do whatever it is, because you gain confidence from doing. You can see us all up here, get all these great tips and tricks, and they're wonderful, but I am confident in selling this product because I've sold this product. So I'm going to share with you guys some of my things that I think that have helped build a sustainable Mary Kay business. And I am going to tell you a little tip for Mary Kay events. I'm super old school. This is how I run my whole life, is through notebooks. But I will say, you're going to get so many different tips, ideas, different things like that. I encourage you to write them all down, but then go through after the event and highlight the things that are for you. Because you can't implement everything, nor should you try to. So that's something, while you're here, write everything down and then go back and highlight after. I also encourage that at the back of your notebook, you start writing a list of people that come to mind, people that are laid on your heart while you're here at this event, because there will be people that you think of, I should be calling her. I should be talking to her. I should be booking her next. I should be, doing an interview with her. She should be on my team next. And you want to make sure that you have a list of that so you don't quickly forget when you leave or in the chaos of, all the excitement of this event. So real quick, so you guys know a little bit about who I am besides just my accolades. I, like Dawn said, she is my mom. I started my Mary Kay business when I was 19. I've grown up in Mary Kay. I came home from the hospital in a pink Cadillac and got to see the lifestyle that Mary Kay allowed. I grew up in Metro Detroit. And I used to, much to Dawn's dismay, I used to roll my eyes and say, no, I'm never doing Mary Kay, when people would ask. And she used to say, you can say no, that's totally fine, but please stop the eye rolling. There's no way. And I will tell you guys, I have a son now, Steele, who is, I'm just gonna say, he turns 2 in June. I'm like over counting this month thing. It's payback. Payback is here. He gives side eyes But I valued the Mary Kay business and the benefits to my family. But when I was in high school is when I really realized, like, ooh, this could be for me, because when I was in high school, you guys, it was 2008, 2009. If any of you were around during that time, especially in Metro Detroit, it was not a hot and poppin' time. And a lot of my friends' families, their parents were in the auto industry, and things did not go well. And I saw the destruction that job loss created in a family. And I thought that was not happening in my Mary Kay business, or my mom's Mary Kay business, and our family, because of the stability that you can create and build with Mary Kay. So I remember thinking, I'm gonna stop rolling my eyes, and I might consider doing this Mary Kay thing later on. And then, fast forward, I'm in college, and my brother and I were sharing a car, and we did not share very well. And my mom said, if I hear any bickering about this, the car's coming back home, and you guys can figure it out. So I decided I'm gonna try this Mary Kay thing, see if it can be for me. I knew you could earn free cars in Mary Kay, and so I said, I'm gonna do this. And I quickly fell in love with helping women feel better about themselves through this product and opportunity, giving women hope and different choices. So this is what I have done full-time ever since college, and I love it more now than I did then. And I bet many of you guys can agree, like, there's a new excitement and a new energy within, Mary Kay, the sales force, and we're more on time now than we ever have been before. Which I hope you guys can get excited about, but also I hope you guys feel like there's something in you stirring, like you need to do more. You need to see more faces, you need to share the products more, you need to share the opportunity more, you need to recruit a whole unit's worth of a team with our fabulous $20, which is a $100 starter kit this month. But I want to share with you guys about selling. So obviously we know Mary Kay said nothing happens until people sell something, right? And I saw that if you build a sustainable Mary Kay business through selling skincare and skincare classes and have customers that stay with you, you have residual income no matter what the season looks like in your life or on the calendar or any of that. And that's what I hope and desire for all of you guys. And obviously, I'm so excited to be sharing at this class because you guys are selling and team building at the same time, which is also our job, is to sell and to recruit. So thank you guys for being here. I bet some of you guys are brand new reds. You might think you're like holding on by a sleeve, and that's okay. You earned your spot here, and that's really important. And some of you guys are in DIQ, stepping into the next position. But what I think has helped me in my Mary Kay business is that when I started, I knew quitting was not an option. Because I was like, I'm gonna do this, I'm sold out on this. And so you make different choices if quitting's off the table, but also I focused on the long game. I knew I wanted to build something that lasted. And I hope that you guys, we can get caught up in, different things, but I hope that you guys focus on building strong so that it sustains you through the rest of your Mary Kay career. So I am gonna walk you guys through a few key things that I think are helpful, and then some kind of like customer retention things as well. But I heard a saying, and I don't know why it took me until I'm 32 now to hear the saying that everything you need to learn in life, you learn in kindergarten. So I think everything you need to learn to be successful in Mary Kay happens at a skincare class. And you guys, I know we're in a world where you can do in-person and virtual things, and I will tell you, you can friend me on Facebook. I probably won't friend you back because it looks like I died when I got married 10 years ago. My Instagram also kind of follows the same suit because I run my Mary Kay business in person, but my virtual business is the exact same thing. I do skincare classes the same exact way, whether that I have a phone in between me and my guests and customers, or I have a computer screen with Zoom or whatever it is. So I've chosen to, basically take how you run a Mary Kay business in person and figure out how I can serve women even just through a screen. So I call it virtual business versus social media because there's a very big difference with that. So I first off want to share with you guys, can you raise your hand if anybody in here has the goal of being on the Queen's Court of Sales? Awesome. Anybody have the goal of being on the Princess Court of Sales? Half of that. Yay! Anybody in here, has anybody in here earned and achieved the Queen's Court of Sales before? Okay, we've got a good amount. Awesome, you guys. So, and I will tell you, for some people, you may be coming to Career Conference not anywhere on target for where you want to be or where you plan on finishing June 30th. And I'm going to give you guys some hope. I've never been on target for any goal in my Mary Kay career. Literally. Not kidding at all. I've never been on target. And honestly, you guys, if you're officially on target for something, I need your goal to be higher. Okay? So if you're officially on target for the Queen's Court of Sales, I don't want you shooting for 40,000. I want you shooting for 45,000 retail or 50,000 retail. Or if you're on target for Princess Court, it should be higher. You don't want to be just casually going through. We want you pushing for something more, because when you have a bigger goal or something that you're working for, you're impacting more women's lives. So I would love to see, can you raise your hand if you have a weekly retail sales goal? Like, you know, each week, this is the goal. Okay, a decent amount. But that's something that I think that we might have lost some sight on, is having a weekly retail sales goal. So, you guys, I started when I was in college. I worked my business. I earned my first car, became a sales director, went to a leadership conference, and said, like, this is what I'm doing. And I, like I said, I've been doing this full time ever since. And it has taken me from, college. I was dating my husband at the time. Then when we got married right after college, he had the ability to play professional hockey through the ranks, which sounds wonderful, and it was a dream of his, which was great. But I could say, my Mary Kay business is what's going to sustain us during these seasons of hockey. And that was such a blessing that I was able to do that because of my Mary Kay business. And my Mary Kay business is the reason that we were able to get our first house and pay for the first house. And I will tell you guys that our first house, I was a Cadillac sales director at the time, and I went from having no house payment to having a $2,500 a month house payment. And what that meant was that I had to sell $1,500 a week to have the cash profit to pay for that house. And you guys, what that brought me was the next level of business, because I could no longer sustain my life on what I already had. The reorders, because at that point I'd already done Queen's Court of Sales, and you guys know, there were a lot of people that raised their hands for Queen's Court of Sales. You get to a point where you can do Queen's Court of Sales on reorders, which, you guys, that's 20,000 wholesale, or 20,000 profit a year on reorder business. Could you guys get excited about that? That's a lot of money, okay? But I want you guys to make sure that you have sales goals weekly that you're focusing on, not, like, your reorders don't count. Right. You get what I'm saying? You're focusing on new business, new faces, because that's where you're finding your new recruits. That's where you're leading by example, so your people are watching you sell the product and recruit at the same time, and that's what builds your next layer of residual income. I saw a stat the other day that if you saved $27.40 a day for the whole year, you would have $10,000 at the end of the year. So I made that into, how about you make $10,000 extra a year by profiting $27.40 a day, which, you guys, is selling $384 a week. That's a few skincare sets. That's maybe like one filled roll-up bag, which I'm going to show you guys. So, and that's something that I think we need more people as we're recruiting. Like, what could you do with $10,000? $10,000 changes a lot, and honestly, you guys, $10,000 this year gives people the ability to live the same year they lived last year without having debt or making different choices. Like, that's the very real life that we're in now. So I would encourage you guys, when you're talking to people, like, ask them, what would you do with $10,000 extra dollars? Because it's very interesting what people would do, and that's a great way to show them and break down for them what, selling Mary Kay products could bring into their family. And when you have people that are selling, they don't leave. And when you're selling products, nothing hurts. Like, really, I know you guys are nodding your heads. When you are, you've got a $1,000 party you just came off of, nobody saying any crazy things about Mary Kay, it slides right off you. And that's a beautiful place to be, and that's where we need everybody to be. But we also need women knowing that you can make excellent income selling this product. I see a sea of reds, obviously, and I'm hoping that all of you guys are super excited about the retreat that you can earn to go to this October as a new sales director. But the stats are, I think 90% of your unit is going to be selling products. So you guys need to be selling the products, and you wanna replicate that. And so I'm gonna share with you guys just real quick a few things that I wanna make sure that you guys are doing, whether you're doing, virtual business or whether you're in person, shoring up the foundation for your skincare class. Something I have found that needed to get a little bit tweaked, or we needed to kind of go back to the foundations of, is weekly retail sales goals, but also making sure you're focusing on selling skincare and tracking 100 skincare customers versus selling stuff. Honestly, you guys, when the pandemic first happened, we were all like, okay, what are we gonna do? Like, we need to sell something, we need to sell anything, but we need to make sure that we're going back to selling skincare sets, because you guys, I have customers since I was 19 years old and I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. I can promise you, Dawn, my mom, has yet to do a skincare class for me, and I've been in business 12 years. She has done no skincare classes for me, but that's how you gain confidence, right? Like I said at the beginning, by doing. Something that I have, there's fancy waters up here. Oh my goodness, thank you. Something that I have always done, and I think that is very beneficial. I actually have a consultant in the room that did this, and she called me and had a $1,000 party after. But you guys, when you're in person, or even when you are, selling virtually through Zoom or different things, having filled roll-up bags so that your customers can go home with a filled roll-up bag. Like, I'm talking a filled roll-up bag with, a Queen's collection at every single place setting at your parties. You guys, this takes your business to the next level, because if people have this sitting in front of them, then it's like, oh shoot, maybe I won't do the whole bag, but maybe I'll just do the repair set. And you're like, yeah, that sounds good. But you guys, it's serious. Like, it's a very real thing. So I encourage you guys to evaluate, are you really running this like a business owner, or are you running this like an order taker? Oh. Because business owners make money, order takers give away a lot of money, okay? And I would encourage you guys to evaluate that, because you are going to replicate how you run your business. And do you want a business of business owners, or do you want a business of order takers? So evaluate. The easiest way is to look at your order history on InTouch. If you're ordering multiple times a month, you're an order taker. You should be ordering just a few times a month, because you're restocking products, okay? That makes a huge difference. And your customer, we don't even really need to get into that, because everybody's very clear you're gonna be a business owner versus order taker. But evaluate by roll-up bags, filled roll-up bags, because then you can break down your weekly retail sales goal by how many roll-up bags do I need to sell. You can break down, your Queen's Court goals, your Princess Court goals by how many filled roll-up bags can I sell, because then you get bigger chunks. And when you guys start selling full skincare sets and building a sustainable business with women that are reordering repair sets, they're reordering boosters, they're reordering different things like that, your reorder business is very high as well, versus if you just sell a few one-off products and people are, piecemealing things together, you get piecemeal reorders. And I don't know about you guys, I still, to this day, I got an order this morning on my way here, and it's a couple $100, and I get just as excited for that than I did when I was 19 years old. It's so fun, and it gives you energy in the process of it, but it starts by how you are presenting the products and really making sure that you're a skincare consultant, because that's who we are. And you guys, that's how Mary Kay Ash intended this to be, so that you could make a living from selling the products and having skincare customers, because if a woman trusts you with her skin, she trusts you with her color too. So your goal is always build to 100 skincare customers, and then you build from there. And also another thing that I think is important to track is building your customers on 10 products or more. Because that is the majority of products that the average woman in America uses. I'm not that, I use everything. And I hope you guys use a ton of stuff too, but if you can get your customers on 10 products, you've got the majority of their makeup bag. So you're in front of them all the time. So really making sure to, track that. And something to, we all know the products are phenomenal. They very much sell themselves. You want to make sure that you're out there sharing what makes Mary Kay different. Like at the beginning of all of your skincare classes, your eye story, sharing what your dreams and your goals are, sharing, what they get to be a part of. When you wash your face with Mary Kay, these are the things that you're supporting. I always have the, you can find these on Mary Kay In Touch, the Pride Points. This is great to put in customer reorder bags. It really showcases like when you choose to wash your face with Mary Kay, when you put mascara on, your lip gloss, whatever it is, the HA Hydrator, I hope everybody's like maxing out as many of those bundles as you possibly can because they're absolutely phenomenal. But we want our customers sold out on Mary Kay. And the products sell themselves, so your job is to sell you. And so they stay with you. You guys, I've had customers, like I said, my entire career with Mary Kay because they know me. They know I care about them. We offer customer service that nobody else can offer. And we have the best products. Do you guys believe that? Yeah. The best products. And we just need to be out there in front of more people so that we can stop having people ask all the time when I'm out and about in my pink car. I had no idea Mary Kay was still around. You guys, I'm at almost every single skincare class or event or different things, people say that. And we need to change that, you guys. And that's why we need this group here. You guys are a pivotal group here because there's a lot of you that have done the Queen's Court of Sales. So we need people doing 50,000, 60,000. We need people working for Thrones, Queens, top 20s. All of those, we need you guys leveling up in your sales, but what comes with you guys having selling confidence is you're untouchable and you recruit everyone, because if you're selling thousands of dollars a month, you can't help but, you would have to try not to recruit people, right? You're in front of new people, and that's something that, did you guys know, this might be a little dicey question. If I asked you right now to list the 4 points of the 4-point recruiting plan, could you guys do that? Okay, some good. That's something that you guys want to make sure that you're doing at every single appointment. I know there's going to be some great speakers that are going to be covering a little bit more topics of sharing and recruiting, but that's something that I want to make sure that you guys write down, like the 4-point recruiting plan, which I'm going to go through just real quick because I already have the notes on it here. First thing is, who do you know who would be good at what I do? You're asking the hostess, whether she's a virtual hostess, she's a Facebook party hostess, she's a Zoom hostess, she's an in-person hostess, you get the point. However, she's a hostess, you're asking her, who do you know that would be good at what I do? And asking, what about you? You're planting seeds. Number 2 is you're gonna have an I story that's not basic and boring. Like, people know that you can make money and you can be flexible in Mary Kay. Like, share why you are willing to invest your time and talents into this company and into this business and where you're going, painting that vision. And then number 3 is picking the sparklers at your appointments, hand-picking them, and telling them why you would love to work with them. That's a privilege, you guys. We get to choose who we work with. And then number 4 is, I wrote down bribe people, but really it's who's willing to be a talent scout for you. Let people know if you refer anybody that becomes a, person on my team, this is what I can give you. Give people some free products, whatever it is. And something that I think is really key, you guys, with selling and selling with confidence, like I said, having filled roll-up bags, the product sells itself, showing that, I show that at all of my, virtual appointments, the filled roll-up bag, this could be yours. Having a set closing sheet so you're not not showing people lookbooks because that's overwhelming. And the number one thing that I'm hearing feedback from my customers right now is that there's so many options. And they're not talking about Mary Kay options. They're talking about just all over. There's a bunch of options. So we get to simplify that for our customers if you choose to. So I always have a set closing sheet that has 3 sets. So when I'm asking people, which set works best for you, it's not like, what product works best for you. So these are my 3 closing questions for, a full circle skincare class or appointment. And I ask these, if I'm in person, I have them jot it down on the back of their customer customer profile card. I hope you guys are using those. Those are great resources. But if they're doing it in person, they're either, being instructed that they're gonna, write it down and pop me a text of it. They're gonna fill out a Google form, or I'm gonna call them and ask them the questions. And I ask, what did you learn that you didn't know before? Because I hope that you guys are making sure that you are telling people, just as Mary Kay Ash intended, just as it's in your flip chart, like we want to teach people so that when they leave our space, they gain value, whether they choose to use Mary Kay products or not. We want to be a value add no matter what. So I just want to know, what did people learn that they didn't know before, whether it's about the product or opportunity. Number 2, if money was no object, which set would you take home with you? Again, set. Which set would you take home with you? And obviously, the whole roll-up bag is the best option. And then 3 is A, B, or C, which is about the business. A, I would, sign up right now. B, buy me a cup of coffee. I have some questions. C, who do you know? I'll be a happy customer. And one thing that I want you guys to think about too is, as you're building your, new customer base, because you're gonna leave here and build a new customer base and layer on the customers that you already have, is that you want to make sure that you're building sustainably, which would be selling, skincare and having those, 100 skincare customers, people on 10 products or more. I'm sure many of you guys have seen the 50% off, when people reorder $50 of products, they can get one of the special offers. That's very good. You guys, that builds people on a lot more products. You get people on more products, hence more reorders as well. And then for you guys, in closing, I really want to make sure that you guys, when you leave here, you have a focused, when you leave here, I want to make sure that you guys have a focused retail goal that's on new customers. And how you guys get new customers, everybody has different ways of doing that. Every single person, I'm sure, you have different ways that you're getting. You want to make sure at every single appointment that you do, you're figuring out how you're getting referrals, how you're getting bookings from bookings. In everyday life, you want to make sure you're getting leads. There's 7 million different ways that you guys can get leads into your business. I guarantee every single person here has a list of women that they know personally that they have not yet facial. Yep. Go to them first. You're gonna book the people that you know first, and you guys, the beauty in this is that you can book them and their faces can be done in person or virtually in March. Like, March is not over, and like I said, I will remind you guys, I've never officially been on target for any of my Mary Kay goals, and my goals still get done, right? And we're growing to new goals. So I hope that you guys leave here, you shake off anything that you came in here with that was not serving you well, and that you leave here with a fresh, new excitement. And I am gonna have you guys, I haven't even counted, I'm gonna say, we've got 90 or so days left of this seminar year. So I'm gonna have you guys close your eyes real quick for me. And I want you guys to kind of dream for a few. I want you guys to think of, where you're gonna finish June 30th, where you're gonna be on the career path, what income you're gonna have added to your family. Maybe you're in the process of earning a car. If you're in DIQ, you are in the process of earning a car. Just a little tip if you didn't know that. What are you gonna do with the income that you have? And in your wildest dreams, what is something you could achieve with income from your Mary Kay business? All right, you guys, you can open your eyes now. I'm sure many of you guys thought of something. I'm hoping you guys thought of something that scared you, that got you outside of your comfort zone, or that's going to get you outside of your comfort zone. And I know there's been times in my business where it's looked pretty. Accolades have looked pretty, it's looked pretty, but I've known gut level, I'm not playing all out. I'm not doing as much as I know I could do or should do. And I believe that there's a lot of you guys that are probably in that place, and I would urge you guys to be obedient to that and run all out for whatever those goals and dreams are, because you have no idea what the future holds. I can tell you guys just real quick, it was 2022, my husband and I had the dream of having a historic house in Detroit. That's something I've always wanted, a 3-story English tutor. But I quickly learned how expensive my dreams were and how expensive my taste was. But what I love with Mary Kay is we can make more money. We have the ability to make more money, and I hope that we never take that for granted, that we can change our financial futures and help other women change their financial futures. Because you guys, my husband and I were able to get that dream house, and I quickly found out right after we had moved in, and my Mary Kay business, you guys, is what afforded us the very large down payment and the renovations that I had desired and wanted, because my husband was in a great job, but he couldn't say, I want to make more money, I need more money, I've got this dream, but I had control over that. And you guys all have control over that. Dawn is famous for saying, when you have a Mary Kay starter kit, you can no longer say, I can't afford it. You can just say, I'm unwilling to work for it. Yeesh. That hits different, doesn't it? But you guys, I am so thankful, and obviously God knew what message I needed in high school to plant that seed for the sustainability of a Mary Kay business, because I was in that dream house. I was 6 months pregnant with our son. My husband was the top salesperson for a Detroit-based company. He woke up to an email that the entire company was gone. You guys, we were in the midst of 6 figures worth of renovations, and he told me, and it was fine. I mean, I was like, wow, but like bad way to let people know. But again, how thankful are we for Mary Kay? Because you guys, I had a sustainable business. I knew we were gonna be fine. And I want everyone to have that ability, because that changes things. Because we get to have dreams, we get to achieve them, but we also get to keep them, and nobody can take them away from us. And I hope that we never take that for granted, you guys. And obviously, most women, we can raise our hand and say, like, I love control, which is probably why my almost 2-year-old is driving me crazy, because I have no control anymore. But you guys, we can healthily control our Mary Kay business, and I believe that the sustainability and the solid foundation comes from selling this product. Skincare customers, I want you guys to track to 100 skincare customers and then 200, because during that time frame, when my husband was figuring out what he was gonna do, my customers were still ordering products, my consultants were well trained, they were running their own businesses. It did not affect us as it would have other people. And I want all of you guys to have, I don't want your husbands to get an email or anything like that, but I want you guys to have that and know that no matter what happens, you've got your Mary Kay business and nobody can take it away from you if you're willing to do the work. Okay, you guys, it's time. We need you. Like, this is like no joke at all. We need more women out there knowing what Mary Kay is. We need more women sharing the product. We need more women wearing the product. It is time, and all of your goals and dreams can be done by June 30th. And I want you guys to know, what you do in these next 90 days, whatever the finish line looks like, know that what you're building is worth it. The work is always worth it, and you're setting up something that is going to be sustainable next year, the next year, the next year, and going forward. I hope you guys have the best career conference, and thanks for sharing this time with me.